If you want to take your rock solos to the next level, then I've got a few licks to show you. So I'm going to show you a few repetitive licks that you can repeat over and over in your solos to build intensity. Think Steve Lukather, think Slash, think Freebird. Think about that outro solo in Freebird. It's unbelievable. It's just lick after lick, repeating it over and over, and you can do the same thing with the licks that I'm about to show you. So I've done a few of these repetitive lick videos in the past. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out after you watch this video, but we're going to incorporate the wah pedal in a lot of these. These repetitive licks really work quite well with the wah pedal, and that's what's awesome about it, as well as without the wah pedal too. Now what's really important with these licks is what I call the dismount. Now I talk about this in my other videos, but the dismount is where you stick the landing. It's how you exit the repetitive part of the lick. So in this video I will show you the repetitive part of the lick, but for my Patreon members you will get access to the dismount, the tabs, the isolated videos, as well as the backing track to play along to. That's all available on my Patreon page. The link's in the description if you want to sign up. Let's jump into it. Now this lick starts on the 12th fret of our E string, that's our root note. I do talk in terms of intervals when describing and demoing these licks. I think it's really important. It goes one layer deeper than just fret numbers and strings, so you can actually understand the construction of these licks and ideas, so you can take it around the guitar in different positions as well as different octaves and different keys. So we've got our root note. We're going to be hammering onto the minor third and then returning the root note, and then we're going to be hitting the flat 7. That's 15th fret of the B string. And then we're going to be doing the same move, except we're going to move that minor third up to the perfect 4th and do the exact same sequence. Now in terms of picking, I'm really only picking the E string once, hammering on, pulling off, and then I'm doing a downstroke on the B string, and then I'm repeating the phrase with an upstroke on the E string. Let's check it out with a wah pedal. So it's a really, really sweet lick. You get a nice, intense sound with that wah pedal. You can repeat it over and over, but just make sure you stick that landing. Let's move on to the next lick. This next one's in the favorite position 1 of the minor pentatonic box. I love this position, as you know. There's so much goodness in it. It's really, really straightforward. We're starting on the minor third, which is our 12th fret of the G string. And then we're going to descend to the root note, flat 7, and then the perfect 5th. And like the title of the video says, we're just going to repeat that. Now you can pick all of this, or you can hybrid pick the G, pick the root note, then pull off, and then pick the 5th, which is the 14th fret of the A string, and then you just repeat that sequence. So hybrid picking that G every time. Check it out with our wah pedal. You can even just make it a 3-note lick and do the minor third, root note, flat 7, and then just ascend back to the root note. It sounds like this. So all of these variations work really, really well. The tab is available for every one of these, as well as some dismounts on my Patreon page, as I said before. Let's move on to the third lick. Now this next one is a 3-note pattern. We're starting on the minor third. We're going to give that a little bit of attitude, and then we're going to go to the root note, and then the 5th. So this is kind of more on the bluesy side. Let's see what it sounds like with some wah. Lots of different ideas there. Again, all tabbed out on my Patreon page. Now this next one's a really sweet ascending lick. It's a little bit more in depth than the other ones. Let's check it out. So it's a 6-note pattern. We're going to start on the 4th of E, which is our 12th fret A. Going to go to the 5th. Going to go to the flat 7. That's our first 3 notes. Then we're going to go to the root note and descend to the flat 7 and then hit the 5th. That's the sequence. Now for my picking, I pluck the first note and then hammer on. And I pluck the 3rd note, pluck the 4th note and then pull off. And of course plucking the last note. I'm going to then take the sequence through the whole scale. So just move it to the next highest string. Same sequence, but we've got to shift that 14th fret to the 15th fret to accommodate the minor pentatonic scale and the tuning of our guitar. And then the same thing. And you could finish the lick there. Let's hear what that sounds like with some wah. So one other thing you could do to change this lick is you could ascend the standard 2 sequences that we just did. And then the 3rd sequence, add in that blues note at the end. And then return to the regular sequence. Or you could do the blues note the whole time. That can sound really cool, right? Now this last lick is a little bit more of a hard rock thing. So now this lick has a few different layers, which is why I like it. We've got 3 different variations of this lick I'm going to give you. It's a 3-note sequence to start off with. Let's start on the flat 7, which is our 15th fret B, and then go to the 5th. 5th being the interval, so 12th fret B. And then we're going to hit the blues note, which is 15th fret G, and then return to the perfect 5th. This is what it sounds like. Pretty straightforward, right? When we repeat it, it can sound really cool. Add in some wah. The first extension of that is doubling up on that flat 7. So this is the standard lick. And this is where we double up the flat 7. The next extension that we can do is add in the root note on the B string, which is 17th fret. Sort of similar to the first lick, but we can take the first extension, the idea of doubling up on that same note, and apply it to this extension. Chuck on some wah. Hopefully you got something out of that, guys. It's a lot of fun to include in your rock solos. Just remember, with great power comes great responsibility, so use it wisely. As I said before, tabs and isolated videos, as well as the backing track and the dismounts, are available on my Patreon page. 7-day free trial happening at the moment. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers. See you on the next one.